Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and I'm now going to be sharing a brand new, simple healing technique that is kind of like a compact, miniature version of the BCR technique and the second version of the EQ method. And this new healing technique is called the Conflict Elimination Technique. So we're going to look into the conflict elimination technique. And as I said, this is a very simple and I would say next step past the BCR technique and past the cord removal healing as well too. So if we're looking at BCR, which I could refer to as level 1, okay, the same thing with CRH, cord removal healing. These all fall under the category of level 1 healing, which means we're basically working with the mind here to completely reinforce love energy, to bring that love energy deeply within ourselves so that we can cut cords, so that we can reinforce ourselves within our reinforcement space and completely neutralize and dissolve away all of the conflicting obstructions that we encounter. So now we're looking at the next level. And this is where we have conflict elimination technique, which would be level 2. And the great thing about the conflict elimination technique is that it is short, it is simple. Once you get the hang of it, you're going to be able to clear away a lot of conflicts very quickly. I'd say if you're doing this very frequently each day, you're going to wake up every morning feeling like a brand new person. So what is it about the conflict elimination technique that stands out as a level 2 healing practice? Well, what we do with conflict elimination is we set goals. Okay? We don't really do that in BCR. In BCR, all we're doing is we're going into our reinforcement space and we're working with love. Okay? And then we command that love to clear away what we're going through. Okay, with cord removal healing, we're cutting cords. Because we have reinforced ourselves with love energy, and now those cords can get cut. And love energy is helping to make that so. But when we're looking at conflict elimination, we're setting goals for ourselves. And here's an idea about how the goals work altogether. So just like in BCR technique, just like in cord removal healing, we have our notebook. We have a notebook, we have a notepad, we have our tablet, we have our phone, whichever one you want to use, that's fine. What we're doing though is we're creating 2 columns. Okay, so here's column A and here's column B. And what does column A represent? Column A represents the conflict itself. Now what's different in the conflict elimination is that we're actually not working with the division of bodies. In BCR technique, we're doing that. We're looking at the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. In conflict elimination, we're not doing that. We're just looking at a conflict. So the conflict goes here. So what would that conflict be? Well, we just put something simple in point form. So the conflict would be the idea that I'm angry at a family member. Okay, so there's anger towards a family member. There's an argument that happened, right? We could put that into our point form as well too. Angry at a family member, argument. Just keeping the explanation very simple, just like that. So there's the conflict. And now we would go into the B column. The B column would represent the goal. So if I'm angry at a family member because of an argument, what would be the goal to get past that? Well, we look at the key words here. I'm angry at a family member because of an argument. Just had a very angry blow up with my husband, with my wife, with my brother, with my sister, with my mom, with my dad, etc. But I was angry because I had an argument. So what we basically do is we ask ourselves two questions, which I'll just put right here. So number one is, can I imagine a timeline where this conflict doesn't exist? So that's the first question. Can I imagine a timeline where this conflict doesn't exist? So I look at anger and I look at an argument. The anger is my emotion. The argument is the event. That's a really easy way of looking at it. Okay, so I could have my emotion here. There could also be a subject, a family member, and an event. Very good. I could also just be angry at myself, right? So I myself become the subject. So we have emotion, we have the subject, and we have the event. And this is what we can easily put within a point form sentence. I'm angry at my family member because of an argument. So we've identified the emotion, we've identified the subject, and we've identified the event. So, can I imagine a timeline where this conflict doesn't exist? Well, how do I do that? Well, what if I was to take the anger out of you right now? And what if I was to take away the event of an argument away from you right now? So all that you're left with is just, I'm with a family member. So if I'm taking out anger, well, what am I going to be left with? I'm going to be left with happiness. I'm going to be left with peace. Happiness and peace toward my family. That's it. The argument is completely erased. The anger is completely erased. All that remains is just the subject. So I'm not angry at a family member at all. I'm holding on to that. So I'm the one that brings about the magnetics of trouble, of conflict, and of obstruction in my reality. This is how conflict elimination works. Here I am. And I emit a certain frequency. And that frequency pulls in, draws to me certain people, places, events, and things. It all comes to me. It's all being brought into me. It's my magnetic. And so as all these things are being brought to me, these things that I know I really do not want to experience, I do not want to have, well, then they're conflicts. They are conflicts, they are obstructions, they are troubles, they are traumas, they are harshnesses. So what we have to remember is, when we look at this, when we look at frequency, Who is it that is broadcasting this frequency to bring these troubles and conflicts into their reality? It's you. You are the one that are bringing in all of these conflicts, bringing in all of these hardships, bringing in all of these obstructions, bringing in all of these harshnesses, because you have not been able to make peace with yourself. That's why you have bullies. That's why you have aggressors. That's why you have blamers. That's why you have inferiority. That's why you have superiority. That's why you have anger, sadness, fear. That's why you have the traumas, abandonment, rejection, abuse, addiction. All because of this. All because of what you're broadcasting. All because of what you are putting out to the universe through your frequency. Remember, as I've said, that what is the nature of the mind? The mind is a consequence instrument. If we are living through the outside world, and we are just constantly scrambling ourselves with chaos and conflict, well, that's going to come back to us. It's the boomerang, right? There's the boomerang, that sharp boomerang, and we're seeing it come back, and we don't know it's coming back, and all of a sudden, bam, hits us in the head. And every time we ignore that boomerang, it gets thrown back out again, and that boomerang gets bigger every single time. It's because we are ignoring the cycles that are returning to us. And every time that cycle returns pertaining to conflict and chaos, it gets bigger, it gets stronger, it gets mightier, because it builds up more of that energy. It's like you just pumping in power towards a battery. That battery is going to eventually fill itself up. It's now filled with your power. Started off empty, but you keep fueling it. You're going to turn this into a fully powered boomerang that when it gets full power, it's colossal in size. And that's only going to increase the injuries to you. So, this is what conflict elimination technique does. It helps you to identify your conflicts, and we look at our emotions, our mental traumas as well too, the subject, and the event. So I can just put a V there for event. Now that we know that, all we're doing is we're taking out everything pertaining to the conflict because we're reaching our goal. So what is it that I can imagine? Can I imagine a timeline where this conflict doesn't exist? Yes, I can see me in happiness. I can see myself completely at peace with my family member, because that's all that matters. We're looking at the subject. The family member is the subject. The emotion is anger. The event is the argument. But now the event has flipped. It's now happiness and peace. The family member is still there. The anger is gone. So yes, the answer to my first question is yes, I can. Can I imagine a timeline where this conflict doesn't exist? And now question number 2. Can I... Actually, let me go back. It wasn't supposed to be can I. It's more like am I. Am I ready to clear this conflict now? Okay. Am I ready to clear this conflict now? So I've already said that I've imagined a reality where this conflict is completely gone and I'm at my goal. I am in happiness and peace with my family member. Am I ready to clear this conflict now? Absolutely. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay? So there's a reason why we have these 2 prompts. That first prompt is for you just to take a minute to go into that new timeline and see yourself where you are not upset or angry at anybody. I'm completely at peace. And as I'm completely at peace, I'll be at peace with my family member. because I've cleared away the anger. I've cleared away the argument situation. So, number 2, am I ready to clear this conflict right now? Encouraging me to begin. Encouraging me to know that this is possible, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay, great. So now we're going to move on to the next step where we're going to do it. We're now going to do the conflict elimination. So this is the simple part. So the first part is just getting ourselves ready. We're getting ourselves in preparation. We're just looking at the situation itself, the emotion, the subject, and the event. Now that we've got all that down, now that we took a minute to go into our imagination, to say, yes, I can be happy and peaceful. I see that goal. So that's what we're striving towards now. So now we go through the process. So here's the process. We can take either hand, doesn't matter, left or right, place it upon the heart. Okay, just for me, right hand. When I'm placing my hand upon the heart, firstly, I'm reminding myself of the timeline that I have chosen. I've chosen a new timeline that says I'm going to be happy and peaceful towards my family member. Okay, so my hand that I choose, left or right, stays right here. I raise the other hand. Now look what I'm doing with the raised hand. The fingers are fully extended. What this means is this is indicating that the conflict is still within me. Now, as I do the process, because I'm going to do some self-affirmation, either out loud or in my mind, whichever I prefer, this is what happens to the hand. When it is at a clenched fist, this means the conflict is now 100% dissolved. The conflict is 100% dissolved when we have a clenched fist. Okay? Now we have a second part. The second part is referred to as the second sweep. So once I have the clenched fist, and it needs to be a clenched fist, okay? Making sure you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not having like a weak fist. I mean, create a clenched fist like you're about to punch a punching bag, okay? Are you going to punch a punching bag like that? No. Clenched fist. Clenched fist tells you 100% conflict is clear. Now we go into part 2, the second sweep. We take a deep breath in and a very slow, deep breath out. And we're just scanning the body. And as we're scanning the body, we're asking, is there any residual of this conflict remaining within my body? And maybe there's a little bit. So if there's a little bit, watch what I'm doing to my fist. Okay? Watch what I'm doing to my fist. Okay? I'm opening it a little bit because I can sense that there's still a residual pertaining to the example of anger towards my family member. Okay? So I'm taking a deep breath in, and I'm doing the second sweep. I'm scanning my body. Is there any residual pertaining to this anger? And it's almost like your fist is somewhat automatic. It just starts moving on its own at times. Okay? So you'll see here, it's a little bit open. And when that happens, I just go back to the process where I'm stating an affirmation, either out loud or in my mind, and I'm seeing the fist close again. Once the fist is clenched and it closes again a second time, you're done. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then I would ask you, how do you feel? The anger is gone. It's completely through. It's finished. It's not here anymore. It's completely history. Okay? The reason I know that, guys, because not only have I been doing this myself, I've been testing this out with some of you already. Every single person that I've been testing out the conflict elimination with has succeeded. Okay? There's a woman I even did the conflict elimination with who had very bad knees, which means you can do this for the physical body. She had bad knees. She did the conflict elimination. She eliminated the pain through herself, did the second sweep, cleared that as well too, and she could feel that her knees were improving. And I said, just get up and walk. She got up and walked, no pain in her knees at all. Okay? So this is helping you with the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. But again, we don't follow the categories. We keep it simple. Even though I'm giving you guys a long explanation about the conflict elimination technique, I kind of have to, because this is the first time you guys are hearing about it. When you start doing this a lot more, conflict elimination technique shouldn't take you any longer than about 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes, you should be done. As you continue to get used to it and do it more and more. So again, the process. Okay, one hand on the heart, one hand up here. So, like I said, when you have your hand on the heart, what does that mean? Why do I tell you to put your hand on the heart? You are remembering your goal. Okay, so this is the goal hand. The hand on the heart represents your reminder of the goal that you have given yourself. Your goal is to release the anger pertaining to the family member involving the argument. So that's your goal hand. Like I said, it can be left or right, it doesn't matter. Okay? What about this one? This is your conflict hand. Okay, so your conflict hand, when the fingers are outstretched like this, is letting you know this is the current strength of my conflict. This is letting me know the conflict is here. Okay, so our goal is to turn that into this, a clenched fist. Okay, not a half clenched fist. And I utter this again, guys, because I've seen you guys do this. I'm doing this. Okay, go ahead and punch the punching bag. Okay, that's a horrible fist. I said clench it. Okay, I've had to remind quite a few of you about that. We clench the fist. When you clench the fist, that means that the conflict is now completely clear. What do we do next? What's the next step after that, guys? Second sweep. Okay, so we go into the second sweep. We take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and we're just very slowly, the breath is going very, very slow, and just scanning, and our fist is reciprocating the effect of our scan. It's reciprocating the effect of our scan. Now, you may go through the scan, and your fist may still be very tight. That's great. You don't have to worry about it. You have no residual. Your fist remains tight, great. Means you've cleared it out completely. But when you have this, that's letting me know, that's letting yourself know that you still have some residual conflict there. You still have some residual anger. And when that happens, all we're doing is we're going through the affirmation again, which I'm going to be showing you now. So I'm going to give a demonstration of the conflict elimination technique for you. And let's just say again that I have that. I have anger towards a family member because of an argument. So my hand's right here. Now, I could put it here if I wanted to, but I'm good with this. Okay? Right hand on the heart. That's my promise. I'm going to clear away the anger and go into happiness and peace. That's my goal. This is my goal hand. Okay? Now my other hand is stretched out, fully extended. All fingers fully extended, just like this. Okay? Just like if I was telling you guys to hold a ball, right? Fully extending your hands, seeing your fingers like fire hydrants, right? Completely, fully extended. Not like this, like that. Okay? So, taking a deep breath in, I'm letting go of the anger. I'm letting go of the anger. I'm letting go of the anger. I am happy in my new goal. I am happy in my new goal. I'm letting go of the anger. I'm letting go of the anger. I'm happy in my new goal. I'm happy in my new goal. I'm letting go of the anger. I'm letting go of the anger. Okay, watch my fist, fully clenched. Okay, so now that I've done that, deep breath in, second sweep. Okay, let's say there's a little bit of anger there still, so I'm, again, opening up the fist a little bit, and I go back again. I'm letting go of the anger. I am creator. I decide what comes and what goes. I am creator. I decide what comes and goes. I am the attractor to everything in my reality. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm in my new goal. Okay? Fist is now clenched. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. How am I feeling? Anger's gone. Completely gone. Okay? So I'm giving you guys a first version of this because we have a second version for more severe things. Okay? So this one I would see as kind of like a mediocre or moderately severe. Okay? We're angry towards a family member, we want to clear it out. So like I said, when we did the second sweep, we're just checking the fist. Okay? If it extends out a little bit, we run the process again. So the process is affirmation. Okay, guys, you don't need to do any visualizing at all if you do not want to. If you want to, that's up to you. So when I'm looking at the affirmation, I'm letting go. Okay, I can say that out loud or in my mind. I'm letting go. Okay. I'm in my new goal. Okay, this is just me saying I'm in my timeline. I could even say timeline if I want to say instead of goal. Okay, I'm in my new goal. I'm in my new timeline. I'm in the timeline that I prefer. I'm in the timeline that I prefer, the happiness and the peace. Okay, I'm in my new goal. Okay, some other ideas of affirmation. I am creator. Because you are. I decide. What comes and goes. That's a big one. I decide what comes and goes. Because I am permanence. I am spirit. I am God creator. I am God consciousness. I am infinite intelligence. I can never die. I am eternal. I am immortal. As I am eternal and immortal and permanent, this that I'm working with is just an impermanence. It's my anger. Anger is an impermanent thing. Fear is an impermanent thing. Sadness is an impermanent thing. The traumas, abandonment, rejection, abuse, addiction are impermanent things. Events are impermanent things. Subjects pertaining to physicality are impermanent things. So, this is why it's completely great to work with simple affirmations like this. I am creator. I decide what comes and what goes. I decide through the vibration that I am broadcasting, through the vibration that I am emitting throughout all of creation, I decide what comes, I decide what goes. I decide what I am able to give up, and I decide what I can attract. I decide what I repel. I decide what I attract. It's another good way of putting it. So I decide what comes and goes, I decide what I attract, and I decide what I repel. So you're giving these strong states of self-affirmation. Okay? So now we're going to go into more of the deeper extremes. The deeper extremes is where we're going to look at a little bit of a different form of affirmation. And again, invocation with ourselves. Okay? So let's now say that I got this horrible addiction, right? I'm addicted to alcohol. Okay, I'm an alcoholic addict. So I want to clear away that alcoholic addiction. It's a very deep thing. It's a very severe thing. I've been doing it for many years, right? And now I feel like this is taking a toll on my body, and I want to clear it out. Okay, severe alcoholic addiction, and I want to clear this out because I see how it's affecting my health. I can see how it's difficult for me to breathe. It's difficult for me to stand. It's difficult to put thoughts into words. This is severe for me. This is really intense. I got to get this out of me. Okay. So like I said, we would just do the two columns, A and B. So here's alcohol. I'm the subject. Okay, what's the event? Okay, the event is addiction. I have an addictive episode of alcohol. Okay? So, if I was to take away the alcohol, and if I was to take away the addiction, what would be left? What would remain from that? Okay? I'd be free. I'd be free, happy, and healthy. Free, happy, and healthy. Getting over this very severe addiction. So that's what we would do right now by following this process. Okay, hand on the heart. Okay, so we have the goal hand here. We have the conflict hand right here. So rather than the affirmations that I was telling you before, we're now going to bring spirit into this. Okay, this is where we bring spirit in. This is where we bring your life force in. This is where we bring the true you in, my true self, my higher self, my soul, my spirit, God, source, creator. Whichever you want to use is fine, but you're letting spirit do the work here. Okay, so I take a deep breath in. God is making me better and better. 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 Spirit is taking care of this for me. Spirit is taking care of this for me. I feel spirit working through me. I feel spirit working through me. Look how quick the hand went to a clenched fist. Because I'm not doing anything. I'm just being. So I'm just doing the affirmations in the background here. Spirit is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Spirit is doing the work. Spirit is taking care of this for me. Okay, so my affirmations reflect to spirit. It reflects to my soul. It reflects to the higher self. It reflects to spirit. It reflects to God. It reflects to creator. This is the advanced conflict elimination technique. Okay, your affirmation is towards letting spirit in. So when you're seeing that, this is what I would tell a person to do. Okay, put your hand on your heart. Can you imagine yourself without this conflicting situation? Yes. Okay. So you can imagine yourself without this conflicting situation. I want you to feel that right now. I want you to take a minute, and I want you to feel yourself completely clear of this conflict. Okay, and I just leave the person there for a minute. Okay, very good. Number 2, are you ready to clear this away now? Clear away this conflict? Yes. Okay, so that's all we're doing. Number 1 is we're just telling, can I use my imagination to clear away this condition, to clear away this conflict? I give them a minute. Yes, I can. I can often see them smiling about it. Great. Are you ready to clear this away now? To clear away this condition? To clear away this conflict right now? Yes. And now we can do it. So now we do this. Spirit is making me better and better. Or God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. I'm letting Spirit do the work. Spirit is taking care of this for me. I'm letting it all go. Okay, saying it out loud or in your mind, whichever you prefer. Second sweep. Well, it feels good. I'm already in that tight fist. Okay, if it goes out a little bit, God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Spirit is taking care of this for me. I'm letting Spirit take care of it. Okay, deep breath in, deep breath out. I would ask the client, how are you feeling? I feel so much better. Do you want to touch alcohol now? No, not at all. I feel completely at peace with it. Great. So that is what we maintain. We maintain ourselves in the goal. Column B is the goal. So this is the 2 levels that you can do. Firstly, you can just work with yourself, right? You can work with your personhood, that you're ready to let this go. Okay. The second level, which is the greater level, of course, is we are working with affirmations towards Spirit. Spirit is coming in. The total you, the true you, your soul, your higher self, your Spirit, God, Creator, Source is doing the work. Source is making me better and better. Spirit is making me better and better. My soul is making me better and better. I let my soul do the work. I'm letting the soul take care of it. I'm letting it all go. I'm letting it all go. Spirit's taking care of it. And within seconds, you see that completely fading away. So that is certainly my recommendation, is that you go to Spirit. You go to your soul. You go to your higher self. You go to God. And you let this completely tranquilize. You will see this conflict eliminated very quickly. Okay? So this is the conflict elimination technique. Now, a question may be, well, Brad, after I do this, will this ever come back? We have to remember that we live in an impermanent world. Okay? If you completely throw away your goal and decide that it's no longer important to you and you want to run back to alcohol again, nobody's going to stop you. But is that what you really want? You felt the happiness and the love and the peace of where you are right now. Do you really want to give that up? So that's what I have to ask you. Brad, will I ever go back to that again? Well, you tell me. Are you ever going to go back to alcohol again? I don't feel I ever want to. No. Good. Maintain that. It's like asking me, Brad, should I shower every day? Do you want to keep clean? Yeah. Well, then shower every day. Then have a bath every day. Okay, this is what we're doing. So we're clearing all of that out. Now that we know that we can do it, nothing is going to stop us from continuing to work with the conflict elimination technique daily. The power of the conflict elimination technique involves repetition. Okay? So many people just want to do something one time and then they hang it up after that. Okay? You're giving up way too easily. That is not how BCR works. That is not how the cord removal healing works. And that is not how conflict elimination works. Okay? This is all about repetition. So what I'd like to see you guys do is doing this frequently throughout the day. 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times per day. You're clearing out your entire mess. You're clearing out your entire conflict. All of this debris, all of the impermanent garbage that we bring into ourselves, We're clearing that up. We're cleaning up the household inside, and we're using repetition. And now we do this constantly every day. I can pretty much say within a matter of weeks, you're going to be a completely new person. You have completely evacuated all of your debris, completely evacuated all of your obstructions. Our goal is to stay with the goal. This is our goal. So, conflict elimination is goal-oriented. You just create goals. If here's my conflict, then I'm going to take away everything there that I don't want, and I'm putting it right here. It is the end result of who I want to be. I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to be an alcoholic addict. I don't want to be a smoker. I don't want to be addicted to drugs. I don't want to be addicted to sex. I don't want to be addicted to food. I don't want to be so hard on me because I'm trying to make my body lose weight. And it's my own aggravation that is actually causing it to maintain the weight. That's what I got to let go of. Okay? There are 1,000,001 things that I could explore with this, but we just don't have the time. Okay? So this is what I work with people quite commonly now through sessions. Let's do conflict elimination. Because by the time we're done with your session, and this session can only take 15 or 30 minutes, you're now shining like a rainbow. Because we've completely eliminated everything that you carry that you know you don't want. And we've brought you to the goal. You're free, you're happy, you're healthy. I'm at my goal. And my goal is just to stay in my goal. Anything comes up that's disrupting my goal, I catch it. I clear it away. I eliminate it. I eliminate every conflict in my way so that I can stay in the purity of my goal. This is the way pertaining to conflict elimination technique. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.